everybody, welcome back to the Build Show. Steve, Basic Architect here. We're down in our basement remodel project and we're nearing the finish and getting ready to turn this over to the client. But I thought before we did that, we'd take a quick walk around and I would show you how we planned out this basement remodel, and then we go back to the studio and talk about those spaces and some of the decisions that were made. This is a house that I designed probably about 5 years ago with the intention that we would return at some point to do this basement remodel. So I got the call about a year ago, we started the planning, and then we got a nice builder, Mike Broussard, in town here, and he's doing a fabulous job. So you can see when you do a basement remodel that it's not unlike the first or second floor. There's a series of zones or places, spaces, however you want to label them. But you can see here, this is basically the kids' TV zone, hangout zone. We have it accented with some bookcases. We have the recessed flat screen TV there. We've got a beautiful little fireplace that is set up here. Like I said, the bookcases. We have some nice stone accent. We did a little ceiling treatment up here. You can see this is just a whitewashed barn board. We did it in a very simple coffer, and that kind of helps define this space, right? As we move around, we move into a little kitchenette area. You can see we have a sink, dishwasher, we don't have a stove, we have a refrigerator, and some associated cabinetry. So you can come down here, you can make your popcorn, you can watch the movie, we can set up. We have a nice big area here for a table, mostly for Lego building and such. We have that beautiful 600-gallon saltwater fish tank here, right behind me. You gotta go check out the video on that where we talk about that specifically. And then as we come around the corner here, you notice, because this is the kids' play area, we took advantage of this outside corner and we built some really cool cubbies in here. Gives that kind of playful effect. The blue and the orange play off of the blue cabinetry and the orange backsplash, so we're knitting these spaces together, and basically the kids have their open toy box down here. Now to finish off the space, you can see behind me we have this glassed in enclosure here. Well, that's the gym area, and it's actually a couple spaces, but we highlighted it with the glass so that mom can be sitting there and doing her training on the bike, but still get some supervision of the kids either hanging out here watching TV or building their Lego dreams here and playing that aspiring architect role, building the next greatest thing. The last thing we have here is a little bit of a treat. So you can see here at the end of the hall, it looks just like a simple bookcase, but in reality, it's access into that storage closet. So we have some storage space in the basement, and the homeowner just wanted to, rather than put a door, have a little bit of fun with the way we close that off. So we finished the gym space with a nice barn style glass door so that we can close that off. So again, mom and dad can be in there working out. We have a nice little nickel capped wall here to highlight, you know, where the parking space for that barn door. But yeah, let's jump back to the studio. We'll break out a floor plan and we'll talk about this basement remodel a little bit more in depth. I'll see you back at the studio. Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. Hope you enjoyed that. Quick little tour. It's probably a couple projects a year, basement fit outs here up in New England. It's not uncommon. And actually, you know, doing work all over the country, it's not uncommon to do. There's a lot of like walkout basement projects, and we have the ability to build basements that are just as nice as the living space above. So, you know, that's a pretty neat little project there that I designed that house, like I said in the video, probably about 5 years ago, and had the opportunity to return and help them plan out that basement. So Printed out a couple of the plans here, the before and kind of after, and let's get at it. Let's talk about some thoughts about basement fit out. All right, everybody. So through this quick plan down here, we have a couple plans I printed out from the plan set, but this was basically the existing conditions before we got involved. I just wanted to show you how we kind of bubble diagram the spaces. You can see here, you know, the trace of the conditioned space that we have available in the basement. So, and I had designed this house originally, so part of this was knowing we were going to come down here and finish it later on. You notice there's a beam line that goes through here. Obviously, the stairs come through here. We have our mechanical equipment there and water heater, electrical panel along the wall. We have our water coming in and a couple doors there. So we also have access out to the yard there, and we have access out to the yard there via patio door. So those are going to play a major role. But when I look at this, and we know that we wanted a TV space, we wanted a play space, we wanted a kitchenette space, and we wanted some type of fitness and storage. So that was basically the program for this space. So when I look at this and I say, okay, you're going to come down the stairs and either go through that door or this door. Oh, and on here we also needed a bath. And that was full bath. So the full bath was an easy one because you can see we already had all the plumbing, drains and stuff plumbed in, and we temporarily put a laundry tub in there, but it was pretty much a no-brainer to understand that the bath was going to go over in this area. And the shower along the wall there, the toilet here, and the sink on this wall. So that was pretty much a no-brainer. We knew that because of the utility space and the air handler not moving that it was logical to just carry this hallway down. We can add access in there and access to the bathroom and close this off. So we basically have a hall here, utility here, the bath. So we're left with all these spaces. This space here isn't really wide enough or have the proportions to become the play area, the kitchen, or the fitness. So closing that off was somewhat logical in making that the storage. So we close the storage, we got our full bath, and we got the utility. We're left with TV, play, kitchen, and fitness. So with access to both outside, the logical steps for me were obviously to partition this off. So then what does this space become? I made it the TV space. It's important for me when I'm doing space planning that the TV space is a destination. So you don't want a whole lot of circulation, people running around. It would be hard to make this an effective TV space because you're just going to have people migrating through this space all the time, that you get people walking in front of the TV, interrupting it. So having this appendage, it became the logical solution to being the TV space. So then that's left with, okay, kitchen, fitness, and play area. Well, because this was kind of a high circulation area and we needed it to be somewhat flexible, that became a very simple solution to become the play area. The kitchen, we had this nice little bump out here, so it was real easy to just come in here and wrap a kitchenette around that play area and knock that off the schedule and our program. And then the fitness, we had this space which we looked at originally, but it wasn't quite big enough. So we were trying to figure out how do we add a little bit more to that. So we actually encroached the play space, came out here, and you saw we did that kind of mitered glass where we had some glass there and glass there. So mom can be riding her bike here, but see out to the TV area and see out to that play area. So that was basically the schematic of how to get that program in here. And, you know, this, by having that barn door, allows us to go outside. The play area has access
from the hallway. You can migrate through here and go through there, but the TV really becomes somewhat of a destination. So let's grab this other floor plan, and we'll look at this a little bit more in detail. So this is the actual floor plan for that space, and you can see just kind of moving left to right. Here's that storage space. We added the door, but we ended up actually doing the hidden bookcase door. But we get this nice long storage space. We outfitted it with some 16-inch plywood shelves that were actually adjustable in there. So the homeowner gets a whole lot of storage in there. We have our fitness center, fitness room here. We had that original door, and it's not uncommon. You know, you end up with inevitably all these little appendages that are utilities going up, coming down, maybe a column that we can't get rid of easily. So, but we're able to get the treadmill in there. We got a weight bench in there, and we got the bike in there and some other associated weights. We got a nice area here for a yoga mat. One of the things I didn't mention in the video, but we were still in the process of doing, the homeowner has quite the extensive sneaker collection. Like, it's a professional sneaker collection. So we have these display cases along this full wall where we're going to display his sneaker collection as part of the fitness center. You notice that we did talk about, we had the glass walls there, and then we had the sliding glass door here. This is that door to the outside. So we have that access to get outside right away. But we also have that viewing from the bike and from this half of the fitness center into that play area, right? That basically it's going to house a big Lego table, play table. We saw those blue and orange cubbies where we outfitted those around that outside corner there to give some playful intrigue to the space and the color, but actually offering some function in storage for toys. But it also kind of helps delineate this as an entry point and this as that media TV space. So you saw in the video also, we have that door here. We did the fireplace and the TV there. We flanked it with a couple bookcases. We have that nice recessed ceiling here. It sets up that media room really nicely. It becomes this appendage all unto itself. So the only real reason to go there is to hang out and watch TV. You're not going to get a lot of passing traffic there, even with that door being there. This one is the one that gets more widely used than that one. And then that leaves us with this area where we threw in this kitchenette here. You saw it has a refrigerator, sink, dishwasher, the whole 9 yards. It finished with this beautiful 600-gallon saltwater fish tank that I'm going to do a video unto itself next week. So come back and check that out, where we're just going to talk about the fish tank itself. The fish tank there was intentional because we had a whole bunch of filtration equipment that had to go in the utility room, and we needed that through wall connection there. So that ended up making perfect sense, as well as having that tank make the glass corner offers a lot of intrigue. You know, when you're entering this space or coming in from the hall, you get to see into that fish tank, or from here you get to see it. So even from the fitness center, you get to view that fish tank. So you put something in like a 600-gallon fish tank, you really want to be able to see it from just about anywhere in that space that you can. You can see we maintain that utility space, and then we actually snuck in this full bath here. You know, we have a beautiful little vanity, toilet, and then we snuck in a nice little shower and bench down there, so when you're working out, you can go there. We actually peeled back the stairs a little bit so that we finished that off with a finished rail and got some more storage in the closet here. But as far as a basement fit out goes, I think it works very, very well in how we planned it and how we zoned it out. The fitness center, the room. We have that play recreation area, which is kind of what I would call circulation heavy. So you have the ability to circulate around that table, circulate back and forth around the kitchenette, and service that media space with the kitchenette directly. So that works out really well. And like I said, mom and dad get the fitness center, and because this is pretty much all glass around the corner, they have the ability to maintain and observe what's going on in here with the kids. The last thing I'll leave you with is just from a durability aspect. You can see here there's a little tile pattern in the background. Whenever I have doors that come in from the outside, I don't like to bring the hardwood right to the edge. I want something a little bit more durable. So we did these little tile aprons there so people can come in, stomp off their shoes. But more importantly, in 10 years, if this was wood, you'd get this kind of severe wear pattern in front of those doors because people are just going in and out, coming in with rainy, wet shoes, etc. It would really start to wear on that floor. So, putting down this little tile mat, it's probably on the order of about 7 feet by about 30 inches, right? There and the same there. It gives you that kind of wear surface that, even though it's a basement fit out, we still need to think about how are we using the spaces, but more importantly, how are these spaces going to age and what are they going to look like in 10 years? As an architect, I think it's really important to, regardless of the project that I do, stand back and say, how relevant is this project in 5 years? How relevant in 10? How relevant in 25 or 50, right? I mean, what happens to this? How does this place age? What is it that we're doing there? Is there anything that we can do to accommodate that kind of life cycle of spaces or structures? But it's something that, as an architect, I think is really important, that it's not about that kind of initial gratification of, hey, this is a really cool space. Check out the blue cabinets with the fish tank. It's, how does this space look in 25 years? Is it still relevant to the house? How are things wearing? How about the durability of it? Is that floor going to last? All those questions that I think are part of that environmental responsibility that we all take on, that should be, it doesn't have to be the priority in every question, but I think it should be a component of every question. So anyways, hope you learned a little bit something here about space planning, fitting out basements. Certainly Big Red joined in the discussion. There you have it. So closing down Big Red. Yes. I won't say Big Red goes to bed. You guys already know I'm a poet. So hopefully you enjoyed that. It's not always building science details and wall section details. Sometimes it's space planning in a basement fit out. And it can be just as exciting. So hopefully you enjoyed that. If you haven't been checking out all those videos, go back, check them all out. Got over a year's worth of videos out there. Go check them out on Build Show Network. After you watch mine 3 times, then I suggest hitting up Matt, Jake, Wade, and Brent. They're all dropping really good information there. Always a treat watching those guys. I keep up to date on watching their videos and tons of great information. If you're looking for other places, Steve Basic Architect on Instagram, dropping knowledge there all the time, and sharing in discussions on how we can make tomorrow just a little bit better. Lastly, Unbuild It Podcast. You can find me there. I team up with my good buddies Jake Bruton and Peter Yost, and we talk about some pretty complex building science concepts, and we break them down for you, give our opinions. You get the architect, the builder, and building scientist hashing out the details. So check it out. Every other Thursday, you can find it on all the podcast outlets, Unbuild It Podcast. So that's it for this week. Build Show Network, signing off. Steve Basic, hitting the road. Until next time, long live our buildings.